What's up, guys? This is Scoopman5000. Today we're back for another action figure review, back on the WWE Elite side. Today we're taking a look at the Target exclusive Series 7 WWE Legends Wave. And today we're looking at Razor Ramon, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now, if you've been following this series, you know that this series was also supposed to include a kind of early Crow Sting, and that definitely would have been the coolest figure in the set. But I guess there's some sort of contractual issue with Sting. He's not currently under contract with WWE anymore, and that's a big shame because this is supposed to be like a big triumphant return to Legends. And what you end up with is kind of a weird assortment. It works as a Series 7, but really this is a reboot of the Legends line. This is kind of a weird lineup for that, and I think Sting would have bolstered it up, made it a bit more exciting. But nonetheless, we have three very high quality figures from the looks of them in the box. I'm still excited to get them open. So on the front of the box, you got Series 7. Up top, you got Elite Collection. You got the wrestler's name on the bottom. On the sides, you got some nice painted, sketch-looking renders of these legends. The back is going to be renders and read-ups and all that sort. But not that much more is going on with the packaging. It's normal Elite packaging for the newer Elites, but just done in that Legends style. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the figures. We'll start with Bobby the Brain. And starting out the wave, here's your look at the Weasel, Bobby the Brain Heenan. And now, when I first saw this figure, I had no clue what this is from. I know of Bobby Heenan as the Heenan family with Andre the Giant and such. The match I watched, it's just the Ultimate Warrior kind of taunting Bobby Heenan the whole time with this Weasel suit, and then he beats him and he ends up getting the suit on him. And I think this Weasel suit has some more significance. It goes back even before that in some other territorial kind of matches with Bobby Heenan. For accessories, I didn't bother doing a separate cut because it really only comes with these. These are the pointing hands. And I guess we'll find out what hands are underneath here. I'm actually going to bring in this cover real quick. You see a better look at the Heenan suit with the black background. And here's Bobby Heenan with the bunny. Yeah, getting a closer look at Heenan, or more specifically this bodysuit that he's in. It's just kind of like a cheap fabric. I will say it's not really like anything I've ever seen on a Mattel. You can see it under the lights here especially. The black singlet is still kind of see-through in this white suit. And to get nitpicky, actually, if you watch the match with Ultimate Warrior, he's got like black claws or like nails that come out here. So this is technically inaccurate, but kind of who cares at the same time. But let's get this stupid suit off of Bobby the Brain. It's actually kind of difficult to get off him. It's a good fit on the Bobby the Brain, so you kind of have to decide right away, I would say, whether or not you're going to be displaying him with or without the Weasel suit. And you already know I'm taking this fucker off. And here's Bobby the Brain out of his Weasel suit. And they're definitely doing Bobby the Brain some favors here. If you look at that match, he does not look nearly as jacked as this. But obviously it's an action figure. You got to do what you got to do. But we'll go and get a closer look at the head sculpt. And that's a very good Bobby the Brain. I don't know if this is the one that was also on the 4-pack Hall of Fame. And then the rest of the figure might even be reuse. But it's all pretty normal wrestler body, of course. He's got the singlet with the one strap going. This bit of skin tone is painted at the ab crunch, and he's got a bit of a scratch here, which kind of sucks, but I guess it's kind of hidden if you bend down the abs a little bit. And I'm also noticing a weird line through the shoulders here, which I don't know if that's like a sculpt thing or if that is like a factory thing. And then down at the legs, this is fucking weird. So I don't know if this is supposed to look wrinkly, like old man legs or something. To me, this looks like pants. I don't know anyone that's got some fucked up, wrinkled ass calves like that. Even old man Bobby the Brain in 1988, I don't think that he had this going on. And then on the boots, these are normal Mattel boots. We see these on every figure. So overall, that's your overview of Bobby the Brain. Quickly, we'll go over some articulation. So the head to me feels kind of loose. It's on that ball joint, getting full range of motion. Head's gonna look up that much, and it's gonna look down that much. Got the ab crunch, shoulder swivel, hinge, bicep cut, single jointed elbow. And then the wrist is going to rotate and it's going to hinge as well. Swivel at the waist. Got some pretty good ball joints at the hips there. And then thigh cut on his weird pants legs. Good double jointed knee on him. Cut at the boot. And then the standard Mattel foot. And a little hint of a rocker. But yeah, Bobby the Brain, definitely my least favorite of the wave. But let's move on to it. And let's go to Greg the Hammer Valentine. And here's your look at the Greg the Hammer Valentine figure. And you go from Bobby Heenan, who I don't think is that great of a figure. Then you go here to Greg the Hammer Valentine. And you think like Greg Valentine is really not the most exciting wrestler to make, and he's just kind of that old timer that's at wrestling conventions nowadays. But you've never had a Greg Valentine Mattel figure, and I don't think you're going to get much better than this. This is a phenomenal figure, and the accessories included are phenomenal as well. So we'll get to them first, I guess. So for alternate hands, he's got the gripping hands, and then on the figure he's got the fists, which are going to stay on him. And here we got the little bracer that goes over his boot. We got some hearts on it. It's going to just snap right onto the boot. And that just adds to your Greg figure. And then this next accessory is probably where all the money in this wave went to. This is a beautiful robe that Greg the Hammer comes with. This is something you'd see on like an Ultimate Edition. Now this Greg has a Chase figure where he's in the yellow trunks, and it would have been cool actually if we got a different robe with the Chase. I don't know if he's actually worn different robes, or if this is the only design he's ever worn as a robe, but I think that would have been more of incentive to get the Chase. I didn't find the Chase, but I probably would prefer this one anyway, and there's no chance in hell I'm buying 2 Greg the Hammer Valentines. But like I said, this is a really good figure out of the box, and Greg the Hammer Valentine, not somebody I ever expected to be in my collection, but I'm not too upset about it. So we'll go to the head, and that's really where the money's at here. This is a perfect look, perfect facial expression for Greg the Hammer Valentine here. And then the hair is really good as well on this guy. On his trunks, we got Greg on the side there, and we got the Hammer on the back. And then he's got the yellow boots with the black laces, and then the Hammer logo. To go over articulation, it's going to be the same as Bobby the Brain, more or less, but the head's going to be a bit more limited because of this big hair. So you're kind of just going to get a bit of a rotation. Not really going to go up at all, and not down at all either. You got a good ab crunch though. It's going to go back that much, and all sorts of forward. Arms are the same, and the legs as well. Much better knee. And I think the boots are the exact same, just painted different for Greg the Hammer. And then here's Greg the Hammer in his robe, and this is really phenomenal. This is an excellent figure. You never really would expect that out of Greg the Hammer Valentine. Kind of boring, but this is a great figure. I really can't complain about it. Although I will make one complaint, and it's that this belt part that ties here, these are kind of way too thick, and they kind of don't weigh anything. They kind of don't droop down like I'd like them to. So that looks a little strange. I'll have to do some finagling with that, or maybe I'll just leave it open. But yeah, you can get the turnaround with him in the robe. Get the hearts on the sleeves there, and the hammer on the back. So Greg might be the favorite of the wave, but before we decide that, let's take a look at Razor Ramon. And finally here is Razor Ramon, and you gotta love Razor. He's obviously the standout of the wave in terms of star power. Razor's interesting with figures because we got a bunch of Scott Halls, and we got a bunch of Razors as well, but it's been basics mostly the past couple years. I think the only real good Razor Elites is that flashback one where he's kind of in the promo gear, and then you have the original Defining Moments, which is definitely the best Razor. I have that one, but I kept it in the box. I can't see myself opening it now that I have this one. And like I said, we got tons of Scott Hall figures, which are pretty much the same thing, different gear. But I'm glad to finally have a classic Razor Ramon to go with my other WWF classic Legends. But yeah, if you've had any of the Mattel Elite Scott Halls or Razors, this is very familiar territory, but obviously the gear is going to be the big difference this time. Especially that vest on Razor is very cool. The chains as well. Going into the head sculpt, it's the same head we've seen on a bunch of Scott Hall and Razor Ramon figures. But of course, this is probably going to be the best one to date because of that face printing. It really is a great likeness to Razor. And then we got these little chains here with the little Razor blade even sculpted in there. That's a good piece. Originally, we saw photos of this guy, and the necklace was actually over the hair. They fixed that, and now we got a proper Razor Ramon. So if you're an in-the-box guy, you can keep them. Then you got all the body hair just painted on here. Looks pretty decent. And this vest is probably the coolest part of the figure. It's got that tropical kind of design that he was known for. And then the bad guy on the back. That's awesome. That's great. Elbow pads, you got classic Razor. You got one black elbow pad. And then you got the blue elbow pad with the Razor logos on it. You got Razor on the blue tights. Razor blades on the back. And then same motif on those big knee pads of his. And we got some bigger boots on him. But same kind of sculpt. These are blue boots, black laces, and white soles. And I just went over articulation on all these other figures. They're basically the same on every single Elite. Again, the head's going to be a little bit limited because of the hair and the chains and all that. The torso is going to be limited if you're keeping the vest on like I am. But you're still going to crunch down decent and even go back a bit. But the elbows are going to suffer because of these big rubber elbow pads. And then same thing for the knees. They're not going to get as much bend because of the knee pads. And you got the same kind of hinges at the feet as well. So that about covers Razor Ramon. Then we'll bring in the other guys from the set for a size comparison between them. And these all look about right. Heenan's going to be the smallest and Razor's going to be the tallest. Here they are with the basic Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Here they are with the elite Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And here they are with some familiar faces. We got the most recent basic Ultimate Warrior. And then this is the flashback Vince McMahon that recently came out elite figure. And Vince McMahon just looks massive next to these guys. It's because of these suited bodies they use for Mattel figures. They're always fucking massive. So Vince McMahon is big, but I think he's not bigger than Razor. I don't know. I think they should definitely be closer in height, so Vince is a little bit too tall for these guys. But you can fudge them in your display, of course. And then here they are finally with the Royal Rumble Macho Man and the Network Spotlight Diesel. And getting everybody else out of the way, here we got Razor and Diesel. These guys are going to look great next to each other on the shelf. And finally, here they are with the Ultimate Shawn Michaels and Triple H and we got the Click. So overall, that's going to do it for Legends Series 7. And overall, this is a very good wave. Razor and Greg Valentine especially are some standout figures for sure. Bobby the Brain I got some issues with, but it's still a cool figure. It's still going to be on the shelf, and it's going to look good with all the other Legends. So if you enjoyed this video, we got more like it on the way. Got Ultimate Becky Lynch, I got Triple H in China, and I got plenty more WWE figures on the way. AEW's dropping soon, I'll be doing those, and any other action figure reviews. So if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, you should stick around here on the Scoopman 5000 YouTube channel. As always, I'm going to leave it off with some pictures I took. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the next action figure review.